Wow, Tim, you were fast.
Thank you. I had the email open in another tab. I just had to go to it and click. Oh, you got Mr. Heyer already as well.
Oh, I said 30 seconds. I'll be right back. Jackson, are you with us there?
Yes.
How you doing?
Good, man.
So you're thinking of coming to TCD next year? Is that the plan?
Hopefully, yeah.
Okay. What school you from?
Lake Park.
Okay. Nice. Yeah, we'll start this in about 4 minutes. What we'll do is I'll do a shop tour just to kind of show you what the shop looks like. Have you ever been to TCD?
Pardon?
Have you ever been over to TCD yet?
Yeah, about a couple years ago.
Okay. Nice.
I still can't find that other video.
Okay.
I got it. I just got to find it.
Okay. We'll start here in about 2 minutes just for anybody hanging out there. Give everybody a chance to jump in here. And then we'll take you for a quick shop
Wow.
tour.
I found it. Maybe we can try this one. Mr. S, this is coming from my personal email going right to TCD. So you're going to get the video.
Okay.
I'll send that one to myself also. You know why we're here? Why don't we try it really quick? See if
Well,
you can
we'll-
share.
Let's get the, we'll get
Other
the,
video? Okay,
yeah, we'll do the tour here first. So for those of you that joined us this evening, welcome. My name is Doug Schlachter. I'm the program coordinator for the automotive technology program and also the second year instructor. We have Mr. Tequila with us. We have Mr. Heyer with us and Mr. Roberts. They are the first year instructors. So what we're going to do here is we'll take you for a little shop tour, kind of explain how our program works a little bit. And then if there's any questions at the end, we'll answer any questions and we'll go from there. So I'm going to show you the short video that we have for you that kind of walks you through our shop so you have an idea of what you're looking for here. Let's see. So what we're going to have here, so you can see these are the front doors that when you walk down the hallway at TCD, this is the entrance for the automotive program. So on the left here, we have our first year steering and suspensions area. Students will learn about alignments, steering and suspensions components, struts, shocks, tie rods, ball joints, pretty much anything that deals with the suspension systems. Down there, you can see some tire machines. We'll get a little closer to those in a second. On the other side here of the shop, we have an area set up for diesel engines. We'll walk you through and you'll see how during the first year program, you have the opportunity to disassemble gasoline engines, understand the ins and outs, how they work, all the components, which helps you kind of understand the drivability concerns that may lead, in the future to some of these vehicles. Well, our diesel cage here is set up so that the students in our second year program have the opportunity to come down and disassemble the diesel engines to get an idea of what the differences are between gasoline and diesel. Sometimes it gets the students excited to where maybe automotive technology is not necessarily their career path, but perhaps the heavy duty diesel industry, which can go anywhere from farm equipment to heavy machinery, over the road trucks, or really even the light duty diesels that you'll find in all the manufacturers' vehicles out there. So it gives them just a good idea as far as what the differences are. As we walk down, we'll see on the left here again, you'll see more of the tire machines. So those first year students, again, are going to learn the mounting and dismounting tires, patching tires, basically anything you're going to need to know about tires. And what this does for you is this is going to help you get a job as a entry-level position in either a dealership, a service station, independent shop, specialty shops like your Firestones, your Midas, your Merlins. Gives you the edge up on a lot of people out there that don't have the experience. We offer that advantage here at TCD. As we'll walk through the shop, you can see a lot of the vehicles in the shop are donated from the manufacturers. As we walk through, you'll get an idea of what that is. You can see our parts department here. So in our parts department, see if I can get a clear pause there. If students have an opportunity to work on a vehicle that's either a faculty member, a student's vehicle, somebody from the outside that calls looking to have their vehicle worked on, this is our parts department where you'll go to Mr. Berman and he will either order the parts, find out what the parts are worth so that you can create an estimate so that you can present that to the customer. And then we can find out if we have the opportunity then to fix their vehicle. So that's where all of that happens. If you need keys for any of the vehicles in the shop, Mr. Berman is in charge of all that stuff. And then as we walk over to the right here, so this is that engine design class that I was telling you about. This is where first year students have the opportunity to disassemble these engines basically down to a bare block. So like right now, these, as we're looking at them, these are complete. Students will be normally in groups of two, where then they will disassemble the engines, where they learn about all the internal components, whether the camshafts, the crankshafts, valves. You'll deal with engine timing and understand how that works. And it gives you a better idea, first of all, working with tools, your mechanical abilities. You'll find out that improves throughout this class. Organizational skills is a must. And then if we are fortunate enough, you can see this engine right here is set up to where when it's all said and done, we put it back together, it's timed correctly, we'll actually apply a little bit of fuel to that engine. And as we crank this over, we have an ignition system that will actually fire the engine on that stand. It's pretty exciting, makes a lot of noise, kind of scares the administrators up in the office because it kind of rattles the walls where their offices lie. I know we get enjoyment out of that sometimes. But you can see there's plenty of engines. They're all the same, which is nice because if students have some trouble, you can ask the guy or girl next to you. You know, if you're struggling trying to get something apart, you can ask them how they removed that. It's very convenient. Have some computers you can see there in the classroom set up. So if we have to search our service manual for, you know, any service information, we have that opportunity. Then as we walk down the shop here, so again, you can kind of see there's a bunch of vehicles in here, okay? So throughout the shop, all these vehicles that you see right now have been donated either from manufacturers, they've donated from individuals on the street, whether, you know, good old Betsy here has got 260,000 miles and she's tired, but we can use that for a learning tool for you to, you know, do whatever tasks that we have. Some of the vehicles we will set up like a bug. So we've created issues and then we have the students diagnose those bugs. So this area here we use mainly for our diagnostics. Some of our electrical classes will do some testing in here. In the back there, we have a in-floor dyno. Okay, this is a drivability dyno. So if you have a vehicle that as it's running, it's got drivability issues, it's got a misfire or it makes some kind of noises, we can actually drive the vehicle in the shop and it doesn't move, but the rollers in the dyno will allow it to get at the speed and run like it was just as if you were driving down the street. It's very convenient because you can hook up all of your equipment right there in the shop and then diagnose the vehicle as it sits. Not too many schools out there have these. Not too many colleges have these. We were very fortunate many years ago to have that added to our inventory of tools and equipment in the shop. As we walk down here, we have our brakes area. You can see kind of in the distance where we, again, deal with brakes. We'll also do some of our electricity classes here where we'll start battery starting charging systems, in-vehicle repairs, things like that. So you kind of get an idea. We have lots of cars that are inside. They're packed in there. And we've got a whole lot out in the back to where we can bring more vehicles in. So you get a variety of different testing and how that works. On the other side here, we have our classrooms. So just a conventional classroom. Sometimes it's very difficult if the instructors want to try to get something across. There's a lot of noise in the shop. So we have the opportunity, we can put everybody in the classroom and go over, you know, if we have a discussion we want to have about something that we saw out there, or if you want to do a lecture on, you know, whether it's engine design or brakes or anything like that. In our first year classes, we do have, it's a 6-week program. So the students will stay 6 weeks in engine design, 6 weeks in steering and suspensions, 6 weeks in electricity, back to brakes, and we'll rotate every 6 weeks so that the students have the opportunity to learn each and every one of these programs. And then hopefully by the end of the year, we get all that stuff, you know, under your belt. So perhaps sometimes over the summer, some of the students will go out and get jobs so that they can kind of keep those skills in their mind. Because a lot of times we know that as we, you know, head to summer vacation, sometimes we forget things. And it's very convenient if you can get a job in the industry over summer. That way you can keep the stuff fresh in your mind. So as we keep kind of walking down the shop here, I'm going to take you, we've got a brake section here, like I was saying. And in the back of the brake section, we have some brake lathes where we'll go over the machining processes. A lot of the industry out there is leaning more towards the on-car brake lathes. But because it's still something that happens out there, we want all of our students to have the opportunity to see what they might see in an automotive shop. So you can see the brake lathes back there. And that bench has like 1,000 brake rotors jammed in there. More shop vehicles that we have access to. Plenty of learning that happens on those. Plenty of mistakes, unfortunately, too. But that's okay. That's where we want you to make the mistakes, is here at TCD, so that when you're out there in the real world, we're doing work on live jobs. We're not making those mistakes on customer cars. So as we walk down here, we can see our second year program. So the second year program, you come back as a senior, and a lot of times what will happen here is we'll refresh on what we learned the first year, and then we'll go into some other systems like airbag systems, anti-lock brakes, air conditioning, maybe dive a little bit deeper into some of the electricity classes and some of the things you learned the first year. And then what we'll do is we'll apply those to the live vehicles that come in our shop. So these vehicles that you see as we walk through, these are either student vehicles, they're customer vehicles, some of them are faculty members' vehicles, and it's a live shop. So like this Impala over here, it's getting brake lines and brakes. The Cobalt back there has an engine misfire, so we're actually tearing into the engine on that one. And then you can see there's a Ford Ranger here. That's a student's car. It's getting a timing chain. So it's a huge job, but the students have the opportunities to do this while they're at TCD every day. Okay, so that was that video there. So just a little explanation about again, how that works. So as a junior, you come in, you get on a bus either in the morning or the afternoon, and you'll spend about 2.5 hours with us. And then you'll have the opportunity to, again, go through that first year program, learn those basic skills. And then after those 2 hours, you're going to head back to your home school. I will say that one of the bonuses is if you can keep your grades up, for our first year program, you have the opportunity to earn dual credit with College of DuPage. There's a intro to auto class that's kind of it's a hobbyist class. So it's a non-majors class, but we wanted our first year students to at least have the opportunity to earn some kind of dual credit. Because sometimes you come through and you might be a senior, and that's the only time you get to come to TCD. Okay. Once you get into our second year program and you complete the first and second years, again, with good academic status, you have the opportunity then to earn more dual credit with College of DuPage, where you're going to earn the steering and suspensions class and the engine design class. So what that means is when you graduate high school, you have 2 classes that it's like you were at college taking college classes. So those classes are already on your transcripts, and the grade that you received at TCD, that's the grade that you're going to get on your college transcript at COD. It's very handy if you're planning on continuing in the automotive program at COD. That's the bonus there, because the fact that your transcripts, you've already got a student ID number, you're like signed up, it makes it very easy for that transition. Also, if you decide that you're going to go to a different school, like let's say you decide you want to go to Moraine Valley and do the Chrysler program, most of these programs you have to take an elective class. Most of the community colleges, even some of the 4-year schools, you're going to take an elective class. Many of the schools, you can use the college credit that you earned from COD, you can use those as an elective class. So it doesn't sound like much, but for example, if you go to Triton College, that might be an $800 class, okay? And who doesn't want to save $800, right? So that's some of the bonuses. There's also what they call articulated credit at some of the other schools. So again, if you decide that you want to go to Triton College, they have an intro to auto class that if you take 2 years of TCD, the automotive program, you'll get what they call articulated credit, which it waives that intro to auto class. Again, it's not, that one doesn't show up on your transcript, but it's like a requirement to finish their program, to get their degree program, and they will waive that class if you take the 2 years of TCD. So it's something that's kind of handy there. So I'm trying to see what I'm going to do here real quick is I've posted the auto program information site. There's just a link to our website. if anyone on here has any questions, I'm going to share my screen here again and show you how to get to the TCD site. It's pretty simple. So what we'll do here is you're just going to go to tcdupage.org. And then you can see the website pops up. What I would suggest is just click on the programs tab, and then all of our programs come up here. So whether it's auto body, auto tech, I mean, they're all here. So we're going to click on auto technology, and then our program site will come up, and it's got any questions that you might have that maybe we haven't answered here tonight. Industry certification, some of the participation fees. There's a virtual tour. This is kind of nice because you get a chance to see the students kind of at work. That's a nice thing. There's some other questions that get answered on that. The program syllabus, which is nice. And then down here, we have all the instructors. So if you want to hear, or if you have any questions, you can email any of us. We can either set up a tour for you. We can answer questions. A lot of times via phone calls, emails, anything that helps make you feel more comfortable about what you're looking at getting into next year. That's all here. Shows kind of some of the different related shop skills that you're going to be dealing with, some of the different subjects that you're going to learn. There's a lot here. And I'll be honest, the biggest thing is depending on how the classes are set up, we can teach students pretty much they can leave TCD, they can get a job out there and they can earn decent money. But it's one of those things that will also try to help you, whatever college path you may have, if you're college bound, if you're not college bound, we're going to try to put you in the right direction. Between the five of us, we've got plenty of years of industry experience, and it's all over the board. I was in an independent shop. Mr. Heyer was in an independent shop. Mr. Berman, Mr. Roberts, Mr. Tequila, they were all in dealerships. So again, any questions that you have, it's definitely worth contacting us, and we can set you up. Any questions? I know I've been rambling a lot.
Mr. Schlachter, I'm going to interject really quick. I just looked while we were here. That intro to auto classes COD for someone that is in district, that's a $450 class that you're going to save on by passing through TCD. Again, it's just, sufficient grade to acquire that credit.
Nice. And they're all a little bit different. I know some of the schools, it's like $600, but still, either way, $400 to $600, you're saving that by taking the 2-year programs at TCD. So I see we're down to 3. I know some of the other programs, the presentations will start in like 2 minutes, but for the few that are still here, are there any questions that anyone has? Okay, well, if there's no questions, I appreciate you attending our first annual virtual open house. And again, any questions that show up, please visit the website and contact us, and we'll try to answer those. Thank you.
Thanks for coming.